What's up, guys? I hope you're doing great. Well, yesterday we couldn't meet because I had other things to do because my father underwent knee surgery, so I needed to help him with everything inside and outside the clinic. So that was a busy day, so I was doing other stuff. But now we're going to continue the series about important people and those important facts that are going to increase our cultural knowledge and make us wiser along the way. So, the person we are going to treat today is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, a genius composer turned pop culture icon. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart wrote more than 600 musical works and influenced other masters like Beethoven and Tchaikovsky. He continues to inspire everyone from film director to computer scientist. Today, here are some things you might not know about the famous child prodigy. First, Mozart's father thrust him into the music business. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born in Salzburg, Austria, on January 27 in 1756, to his mother Anna Maria and his father Leopold Mozart, who was a composer and music teacher at Salzburg Cathedral. Little Wolfgang and his older sister Maria were taught to play the clavier, a stringed keyboard instrument, from a young age. Both children showed immense musical talent. By the time he was 4 years old, Mozart could learn a song on the clavier in just 30 minutes. Second, Mozart hung out with a young Marie Antoinette. When he was 6, Mozart's family was performing at royal courts, and he began to perform concerts himself at the Habsburg summer residence outside Vienna. Mozart met Archduchess Marie Antoinette, who was 2 months his senior. It's said that she helped Mozart when he slept on a polished floor. In return, he proposed marriage to the future Queen of France. The experience in Vienna would lead to the beginning of a wildly successful tour across Europe that stopped at dozens of cities and royal courts between 1763 and 1766. Third, he wrote his first opera at 11 years old. Mozart took in Paris, London, Amsterdam, Versailles, and more as he traveled with his family. At one concert in Munich, Mozart and his sister played together for 3 straight hours, and they wowed audiences everywhere they went. While playing a series of concerts in Paris, Mozart published his first piece of music, a violin sonata in 5 parts. He was 8. At age 11, he wrote his first true opera, Apollo et Hyacinthus, a series of tours of Italian cities beginning in December 1769 confirmed Mozart's natural talent. He was commissioned to write operas for Milan's Carnival, was admitted to Bologna's prestigious Accademia Filarmonica, and directed the first 3 performances of his opera Mithridate. At 15, he wrote that he was hearing whole operas at home in his head. Mozart later admitted to feeling as proud as a peacock about his fame. Fourth important fact is his early triumphs didn't last, and then his father blamed him for his mother's death. After the Italian tours, Mozart returned to Salzburg and began composing for the court of its new ruler, Prince Archbishop Hieronymus von Colloredo, but the work was unchallenging. In 1778, Mozart's ever-ambitious father sent him to Paris with an order to put himself in the company of the great. But now Mozart was 22 and no longer the boy wonder who hung out with Marie Antoinette on his 3-year European tour. He was an adult musician with a plain, pockmarked face who could barely speak French. Left out of high society and running out of money, Mozart and his mother, who was chaperoning him, holed up in a cold and dilapidated hotel in the second arrondissement. His mother fell ill with a fever and she died on July 1778 at the age of 57. Mozart was all alone and too scared to tell his father what had happened to his mother. Instead, he got his friend, Abe Bullinger, to tell him the sad news. Leopold Mozart ended up blaming his son for her death, believing if his mother had accompanied him to Paris, things would have turned out differently. Fifth important fact, he kind of hated working in Salzburg. Following the Paris stay, Mozart went back to Salzburg to live with his father and sister via Strasbourg, where he played 3 poorly attended concerts: Mannheim, Munich, and Augsburg. At home, he found a job as a court organist and wasn't happy at all. He wanted more for himself, once writing, "To waste one's life in an activity as such a beggarly place is really sad." The worst part of staying in Salzburg was dealing with the stinginess of his patron, Bon Colorado, who wanted him to compose only music meant for the local church. Despite his difficulties during this period, Mozart nevertheless wrote 2 important compositions: Symphony No. 32 in G major and Symphony No. 33 in B flat major. Sixth, he moved to Vienna in 1781 and his life changed dramatically. In Vienna, the age of enlightenment was in full swing. Nights in the capital belonged to the wealthy, who attended the finest masked balls and operas. Starting off as a freelance musician with just one student, Mozart worked his way into the heart of Viennese society. Propelled by the popular appeal of his piano concertos and symphonies, one biographer noted that audiences for his piano concertos had the experience of witnessing the transformation and perfection of a major musical genre. Soon, Mozart could be seen going about town in gold-trimmed hats and red coats with mother-of-pearl buttons. A year after moving to Vienna, he married the soprano Constance Weber. They had their first child in 1783, a boy named Raymond Leopold. Seventh, he insisted his children shouldn't be breastfed. He wrote, "I was quite determined that even if she were able to do so, my wife was never to nurse her child. Yet I was equally determined that my child was never to take the milk of a stranger. I wanted the child to be brought up on water like my sister and myself. Feeding infants on barley water instead of milk was common practice among the middle class at the time." Mozart did eventually give in to his midwives and mother-in-law's pleas to have a wet nurse breastfeed the child, but unfortunately Raymond died 2 months after he was born. Only 2 of Mozart's 6 children survived infancy. What a sad thing. But nowadays, we know the importance of breastfeeding because of the nutrients and antibodies provided by the mother during this period of the infancy. 8. His music spanned every form and style of his time, from chamber music like Serenade Number 13 in G major to beloved operas such as The Magic Flute, Don Giovanni, and Così fan tutte. Mozart's compositions redefined many forms of music, symphonies and concertos, harmony music for wind instruments, chamber music for string quartets, sonatas for the piano, masses, and choral and church music as well. All were parts of his opera. What makes Mozart's work so revolutionary? Romantic composers Johannes Brahms noted the exceptional purity of his music. To the American composer Leonard Bernstein, Mozart's works were bathed in a glitter that could have come only from the 18th century. From that age of light, lightness, and of enlightenment, over it all hovers the greater spirit that is Mozart's, the spirit of compassion, of universal love, even of suffering, a spirit that knows no age, that belongs to all ages. Or, in the words of playwright Arthur Miller, Mozart is happiness before it has gotten defined. Another fact is that Mozart's last composition remained unfinished. His final commissioned piece was Requiem Mass in D minor. Mozart died before it was finished, but his student Franz Xaver Süssmayr completed the work and delivered it to Austria's Count Franz von Walsegg, who had commissioned the piece to memorialize his deceased wife. And the final fact is that his music and life are still widely celebrated. Named one of the greatest people of the millennium by Time, Mozart's fame has only grown since his death more than 2 centuries ago. New York City hosts the monthly Mozart Festival at Lincoln Center for a month every summer. Salzburg celebrates with an 11-day birthday party for the composer every January. In fact, an impressive percentage of Salzburg's economy is built on Mozart tourism, with everything from Mozart keychains, t-shirts, chocolate, marzipan, Mozart balls for sale in the city's historic old town. Everything else is derived from Mozart's economy. In conclusion, this important person gave us culture, a lot to enjoy, and give us example of how a dedicated life can be fruitful and can lead you to success. Well, I hope you take the best aspects of Mozart's life and apply it into your life so that you can achieve success just like him. Well, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below, and tell me what you think about it. And see you soon.